What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports Life and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube #1 sports detective, and I'm here for the Nebraska news today. And this past weekend, Matt Rule and the Nebraska Cornhuskers took on Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. And I made a video before the game where I predicted Nebraska would lose 42-17. Now, I was a little bit off. It ended up 36-14. But basically, that's the same thing. And I'm a person, I always tell people I've been rooting for Nebraska since the 90s, since they had Tommy Frazier and Lawrence Phillips. So I'm a longtime supporter of the Cornhuskers. But I did something that I rarely do, is I actually bet against the Cornhuskers and made a little piece of money. And the reason why I did that was not so much I was truly betting against the Cornhuskers. I was betting against the Cornhuskers quarterback, Jeff Sims. And I made this video right here. Right before the game, 6 days ago, maybe 2 or 3 days before the game. And I said, well, the Nebraska Cornhuskers get destroyed by the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, the defense, they look good. They look like they was ready to win the game. But I knew Nebraska had a turnover machine at quarterback in Jeff Sims. How did I know that? Because last year, he turned the ball over at a very high rate at Georgia Tech. Not only did he turn the ball over at a high rate at Georgia Tech, he followed it up by the first game of this season by throwing 3 interceptions. Now, Bill Parcells had a great quote. And his quote was, "You are what your record says you are." And Maya Angelou had a great quote. If somebody show you who they are, believe them. And those two things resonate with me. I'm so sick and tired of fanboyism running amok. It happens throughout all team sports, not just Nebraska. But I'm focused on Nebraska because I root for the team. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fanatic of no team and no man, but I root for the team. Every weekend I turn it on, hoping that they win. But if they don't, I don't lose no sleep. I don't poke my lip out. I'm not upset. But these channels that's dedicated to one team are the worst channels on YouTube. I like Corn Craze. Good channel. But he's a fanboy. He's seen Nebraska turn the ball over 4 times against a bad Minnesota team, and he comes out and says Nebraska has a chance to win. Character Chronicles, ex-Nebraska Cornhusker. He also has a great channel. He comes out and says Nebraska can win this game, this, that. No, they can't. You can't win a game when you're a turnover machine. That's in any sport. That's like baseball. If you have a bunch of errors, you're not supposed to win. Basketball, you turn the ball over, you're not winning. Nebraska did something that's mind-boggling when you think about it. They went and got a quarterback who was worse than the quarterback they had before. How do you go replace Casey Thompson with Jeff Sims, and Jeff Sims was a worse quarterback than Casey Thompson? But let's take a look at Will Compton. Will Compton, another ex-Nebraska Cornhuskers. I remember him when he was at Nebraska. Him and Levante David, great linebacker duo. They was fantastic. And I think he went on to play for the Washington Redskins. And I think he played for another team too. But he was a good linebacker, and he was a damn good linebacker at Nebraska. But these people get on TV because they're fanboying out. They can't be realistic and honest. Look, it's okay to pick your team, but you also have to say, you have to preference it when you don't have a juggernaut. Hey, man, I think we're going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado won. But based on the simple fact, Nebraska Cornhuskers are a turnover machine. Let's take a look at this small clip.
Week 3 against Northern Illinois. Oh, no. All right, we got the Nebraska schedule pulled up for us. Nebraska, Minnesota. I think we start off with a win. I'm only smiling.
And look. He's smiling because subconsciously and deep down inside, Will Compton knows. Hey, man, I'm just walking out on the ledge. I got a blindfold on and a pirate is sticking a knife in my back. So I'm going to go ahead and take the leap. As if it was my choice to take the leap, and really, honestly, it was the knife being poked in my back by the Nebraska Cornhusker fan base. Now, every Nebraska Cornhusker fan is not just blindly following and believing, but a lot of them are, and these channels aren't helping.
I know it's like, I think we started.
That's a loss. That was a loss.
Nebraska beats Colorado. I think the state was red. I think Colorado was over years, like what, 3.5? Not a lot of promise. I believe in Dion. I believe in Coach.
Well, I do too.
Week 3 against Northern Illinois. That's a win. That's our first win.
Hey, the scary thing about that is he said the first 2 was wins. They both was L's. Then he picked Northern Illinois as a win. That's terrifying. Do I think Nebraska will lose to Northern Illinois? No. But when you turn the ball over in the way that Nebraska does, you can leave the door open for anything to happen. And then they follow that up against Michigan. Can they beat Michigan? No. But it's a conference game and anything is possible. I don't leave, I'm not one of those people speaking absolutes. But when your quarterback damn near led the nation in turnovers last year, he started out this year, I think he might have 5 or 6 turnovers already in 2 games against average teams, especially because Colorado's defense is not great. They're not that good. But when you can't catch the snap, that's pathetic. It got so bad, we couldn't even hike the ball to the man. Excuse me. But people say, hey, man, you should just bench him. If Matt Rule, benches Jeff Sims, do you know what that means? That means he has to admit he made a massive mistake in letting Casey Thompson go. I don't see him doing that. And eventually he will have to do it, but the reason why it hasn't been done immediately is because it's ego and pride, and it's the, it's that sense of I want to be right. And buddy, you couldn't be more wrong. Jeff Sims is a decent runner. He's not great. He's not Taylor Martinez. And he damn sure can't read the field. In this video I made last week right here, you guys, everything I'm saying, I said before the game, before the Nebraska game. I said, hey, man, this man's a turnover machine. Hey, man, they can't beat Colorado. Hey, man, this man he can't read the field. That was one of the first things I said in that video. He can't read the field. Look what the thumbnail says. Matt Rule versus Deion Sanders. Did Nebraska make the wrong hire? Me personally, I put it on record and on video. The video I made after the season last season that they need to hire Deion, but they did not. I'm not surprised they didn't, but they didn't. And then not only that, look what else it say. Did Nebraska make the wrong hire? And then it say, will Nebraska get destroyed by Colorado? And it looks like both of those is true so far. Now, I will admit that, time is everything. You can look 2 or 3 years from now, Deion might be gone somewhere else and Colorado's right back in the tube, and Matt Rule didn't build something real. And I'm not down on Matt Rule as far as long term, but I just think short term he's made some terrible decisions so far. And bringing in a turnover prone quarterback was the worst decision he could have made. But the moral of the video is fanboy channels are ruining sports, whether it be the Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys just beat the Giants. The Giants fans is going nuts. Oh, they fanboying out because all week they've been saying they was going to destroy the Cowboys. And then when the game kick off, you lose 40 to fucking nothing. But you didn't preference that shit by saying, hey, man, the Dallas front seven is phenomenal. Hey, I think the Giants can win. I think they can build off last season. But if the Cowboys won, I wouldn't be shocked. This is called, that's being realistic. Even though you fanning out a little bit, at least you realistic about it. You have people going out on the limb, and then you have to over criticize. Then you have to be ruthless on your pick that you made wrong. Then you have to cuss out the team. That's why I don't like being a fanboy. I don't agree with being a fanboy. And I damn sure don't support that shit out of grown-ass men. But I just want to go over this clip right quick. And I just want to go over this Nebraska this last weekend of them losing. The defense was ready to win. It was all over Shador's ass. Well, Matt Rule and all those guys made a lot of snide comments towards Deion, and they had to eat a little bit of crow. Was Colorado great in this game? Absolutely not. But Nebraska made it so easy by just literally throwing the ball on the ground. But they got Northern Illinois next week. I think they probably come out with a victory. I got Nebraska winning that game 38-12, 38-15, somewhere around there. But it won't be, you'll still see some of the lapses on offense, some of the stuff that you don't like, bad balls, missed throws, and that type of stuff that just let you know this team is not ready to compete. They'll play Michigan the next week after that. They'll get railroaded. But they'll keep it close early. The defense looks good, but after a while you become demoralized. When the offense stinks this bad, when you can't even catch the hike. Yeah. When you can't even take the snap. But this has been Sports Life and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I just took your ass. It's time to eat a little bit of humble pie ride. Peace.